Hello everybody, and welcome back to another FimFiction reading. Daring Done by Aragon. I should have written encyclopedias instead. Dear Twilight's mom. Oh my gosh, I don't know where to start. So Twilight, your daughter, who's one of my bestest friends in the world. No, she's my best friend in the world. So, you're reading the words of your daughter's best friend, which is totally cool, right? Like, you know me, and I know you, and we get along pretty well, right? Well, okay, we didn't really talk at the royal wedding, or at Twilight's crowning, but we did say hello and all that, right? Right? Oh, sorry, I got sidetracked. So Twilight, again, best friend, got a little drunk today. Not like really drunk, because we both know that Twilight is awesome and totally doesn't drink at all, unless you're cool with it, in which case I guess she drinks a little. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The thing is that when I went to Twilight's house today because I wanted to borrow a book from the library, a Daring Do book because they're my favorite and they're the best books ever, and then Twilight and me decided to taste some cider that Applejack had brought there. You should try it. It's very good. Daring Do should drink a lot of cider. I think it suits her character. And then Twilight got a little drunk. I think I already said that. So we started to talk, and then we started to talk about Daring Do, because she's so awesome, oh my gosh. And then Twilight said that it was totally a secret, but that you are Silky Dust. She told me that you were Daring Do's author. I can't believe I know one of my heroes. Being honest, part of me hoped that you were a Wonderbolt, because that would have been super awesome. But who cares? You're Daring Do's author. Oh my gosh, I totally need to see you and ask you about the series. I have a lot of questions, and it all makes sense now. Twilight's the one who recommended the books to me in the first place. Isn't she cool? And then there are a lot of subtle hints in the stories, like, I knew there was something fishy in the scene where Daring Do starts thinking about the Temple of the Sparkling Twilight, and now I get why it's called that. And I don't know what else to say. I'm your biggest fan, Mrs. Twilight's mom. I own all of your books. Well, not exactly, because I prefer borrowing them from your daughter, but that's even better, right? Could you please sign me an autograph? Or dedicate me a book? I've been writing a fanfic about Daring Do, and I need you to check when it's over. I'll take a couple of days off work from my job so I can concentrate on it better. Oh my gosh, I still can't believe I know Daring Do's author. Always your biggest fan, Rainbow Dash. P.S. Spike here. Sorry for all the caps. She wanted me to make sure I got all the emotion in her words. Dear Rainbow Dash, I'm very glad that you like my books. It means a lot to me. And yes, my daughter is quite the wonderful filly. Please don't tell any pony that I am Silky Dust. I don't want to be famous. That is the reason why I chose to use a nom de plume after all. With regards, Twilight Velvet. Dear Daughter. Okay, Twilight, you're the leader of the Elements of Harmony, and I'm very proud of you. You're a princess too, which is also nice. And you have always been very good in your studies. Every parent would love that. However, you had one and only rule that I forced upon you, and that was never, and I repeat, never telling any pony that I was the writer of the Daring Do novels. I swear to Celestia that this family already has too much fame, with both you and your brother being royalty now. Me being a celebrity is the last thing we want, so make sure your friend doesn't let the news spread around. Also, what's that last thing about the cider? Young filly, I don't want to hear about you being drunk ever again. You know what happened to your uncle. With love, although very pissed off, Mom. P.S. I still haven't finished the chapter I'm working on right now, but as soon as I do, I'll send it to you via Spike so you can proofread it. Try not to drink too much while you're at it. You might end up showing it to your neighbors. Dear Mom, I'm sorry. I'm really, really, really sorry. I didn't want to say a word, promise. It's just that Rainbow Dash is a very good friend, and she really loves your books, and, well, I guess the cider was pretty strong that night. The thing is, I never wanted to reveal your secret, and I'm sure that Rainbow Dash will behave and won't say a word about you. I made her Pinkie Pie promise me that, and trust me, that means serious business. About the cider? Please, Mom, I'm an adult now. Plus, Uncle Claret had a wine-drinking cutie mark. His fate was more or less given. Don't worry. I will not become like him. Signed, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Twilight's Mom, So, Twilight told me that I should never say anything about you being the author because you don't want to be famous. I don't really understand that, but I can keep a secret. I never told any pony that Twilight likes to drink a couple sips of wine every night, right? Well, I guess I just told you that. And Spike. But it doesn't count. You're her mother, so you had to know it already. Also, I've been working on my fanfic about Daring Do a lot, like I promised. It's getting better and better by the second. Daring is in a spaceship right now, and I've already written the villain song. Oh, it's going to be so good. You're going to love it. Still your biggest fan ever. Rainbow Dash. Dear Mom. Ha, ha, aha. Loved the new chapter, Mom. Especially the part about Deskshine being a drunk hobo that does nothing but cry because he is disappointed with his mother when he was young. I have to say, you're a very good writer, but subtlety is not your forte. I learned my lesson about keeping secrets. I even sent a letter to the princess so you can see it's as official as a friendship lesson can be. Or a family lesson. I don't know. Does that exist? I think it should. Shining sure got a family lesson about me when the royal wedding happened. And I think this lesson also applies here. You can trust Twilight Sparkle. Yes, I made a mistake. But come on, I've been keeping this secret since I was 3 years old, and this is the first time I say a single word about it. Also, the wine thing was a lie. Rainbow Dash lies a lot. Trust me, that's what the family lesson is about. She is totally a liar. I don't drink wine. With love, Twilight Sparkle. My most dear Twilight Velvet. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're Silky Dust. Your daughter just sent me a letter rambling about keeping secrets and how adults and independent mayors like her should be able to drink whatever they wanted, when she told me that you are Silky Dust. You've been Silky Dust from the beginning. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. You're my hero. You're my favorite writer. I have all of your books, twice. I know all of your stories by heart. I'm totally getting in the royal carriage and going to your house right now. Oh, I can't wait to tell Luna the news. She also loves your books. With all my admiration, Princess Celestia. Dear Daughter, what in the everlasting Tartarus did you say to the princesses, and why are they in my house, and why are they looking at me with puppy eyes? I swear to you that the next time I see you, you're going to be so grounded that you forget what the stupid sky looks like. Do something about this, now. Signed, Twilight Velvet. Dear Mom. Mom, I'm an adult. And you can't ground me. We're not even living together, for Celestia's sake. I can do whatever I want now, and you can't do anything about it. Well, except for getting the princesses out of your house. I mean, Mom, I'm sorry, but they are the princesses. I'm afraid you'll have to cope with them on your own. Also, sorry for telling them. I thought they already knew. With love, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Daughter, you are a princess too. If there's any pony out there who can do something about these 2 crazy alicorns in my house, it's you. For crying out loud, do something. And do it quickly, because Celestia is trying to find my next book's outlines, and I can't tell her a thing because Luna doesn't leave me alone for a second. She's been asking me about the relationship between Daring Do and Sugar Song for 3 hours. Do something! Signed, Mom. Dear Mom, if Princess Luna doesn't leave you alone, how are you sending me these letters? Signed, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Twilight, do you really think that's the most important thing to worry about right now? Signed, Twilight Velvet. Dear Mom, well, excuse me if I'm curious. Also, why did you sign the last letter with your name instead of writing Mom like always? Are you angry at me? Signed, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Twilight, you are really wondering if I'm angry? I thought the fact that every single word in this letter is capitalized would give you a clue. Get the princesses out of my house right now, or so help me. Signed, your mother, who is so angry at you right now that she doesn't even remember her name. Dear Mom, oh, I'm so sorry, but I don't know what to do. Maybe the princesses will go away at dinner time. I'm sure they have royal issues to attend to after all. Also, I thought that you were writing in all capital letters because you had changed your calligraphy. It also looks prettier than your usual horn writing. Signed, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Daughter, what in the name of Daring Do is wrong with you today? You're being dumber than ever. I can't understand what is happening to you, unless... Oh, Celestia, no. Please, tell me that you are not drunk right now. Because heavens help me, if you are drunk right now, I swear upon the fires of Tartarus that I will go to Ponyville by hoof and spank you in the rear until you can't sit for 3 straight days. And speaking of Celestia, she's still trying to find what I've written for the new book. Do something about it. Signed, your mother. Dear Mom. No, I'm not drunk. I'm working on getting the princesses out of there as soon as possible, though. With love, your daughter who was totally not drinking wine at all. Dear Spike. Please tell me if my daughter is holding an alcoholic beverage at the moment of this delivery. Signed, Twilight Velvet. Dear Mom, I told you I'm not drinking. It's your imagination. Also, I still don't understand why you're sending me these letters if you're so busy with the princesses. Signed, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Spike, I asked you, not my daughter. And if you try to fool me by sending a letter written by Twilight instead, or if you lie to me, I'll know. Signed, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Mom, yeah, no. No matter what I say, I still get in trouble. So if you'll excuse me, I'll just keep working as a mailbox instead. Signed, Spike. Dear Daughter. Well, the situation is finally calmed. The princesses are gone now because the royal guards had some important issue to handle in the castle and needed them. I'm going to assume that you contracted your brother and both planned the whole thing together, and for that, I thank you. Now that I'm a little more calmed, I can see that I overreacted a little. Writing such a chain of missives in capital letters was not very mature on my part. I'm still disappointed at you for telling my secret to the princesses, though. At least they promised not to tell any, Pony. We'll talk about this, and the wine issue, next time we see each other face to face. Now I think I'm going to sleep. Today has been the most tiring day of my life. With love, Mom. Dear Twilight, your mother almost had a heart attack today. I have to admit that I had never laughed so much in my whole life. Turns out Luna is a Sugar Dew fan. Who would have thought? Celestia just likes the adventure, although she's sure she knows how the series is going to end. She's been talking about her theories all evening. If you could only have heard them. They are even crazier than yours. Anyway, good job getting rid of them. And don't worry about your mother. You know how she is. She'll forget this in a couple of weeks. Also, wine goes surprisingly well with cheese. You should try it. With love, Dad. Dear Twilight Velvet, I'm very sorry for being forced to leave your house yesterday so early, especially because we weren't able to finish our talk. However, even though my royal duties prevent me from going there again for at least 2 days, we can still continue our conversation via letters. So, as I was telling you when we are interrupted, I think that the best part of Sugar Song and Daring Do's relationship is how they complement each other. Sugar Song is the most intelligent pony in the Daringverse, and there's no doubt about who is the most brave and strong mare there. So they make the best pairing that could ever be. I'm completely sure that you wrote them like that completely on purpose. They're so cute together. Also, when are they going to kiss? Is it in the next book? I sure hope it happens in the next book. With respect and adoration, Princess Luna. P.S. I'm writing a song about the chapter in which they spend a whole night trapped in the Temple of the Sparkling Twilight. By the way, that name is a metaphor for their love, right? You'll love it. Dear Twilight Velvet, I'm very sorry we couldn't stay as long as we wanted in your house, but being a princess has its downsides. However, Luna and I have planned our schedule to the second, and we're going to be getting 3 days off in 48 hours. So worry not, we'll be there. I know that you could also come to the palace, but then you would be out from your Temple of Inspiration, right? Do you think it would be possible for you to write in front of Luna and I? It would mean so much to us. Also, don't try and argue with Luna about the whole Sugar Dew thing. She likes that kind of stuff, but we both know that Daring Do is not about romance. It's about the adventure. And the mystery, of course. Did I mention that I believe I already guessed what the ending is going to be about? Oh, I'm sure you're going to love to hear more about my theories. 3 hours is not enough time to explain everything. With respect and admiration, Princess Celestia. Dear Miss Twilight's Mom, I finally did it. I finished my fanfic. It's about Daring Do going into outer space and then fighting some villains and being awesome in general. I'm sure you're going to love it. I'll be waiting for your opinion. Still your biggest, best fan, Rainbow Dash. P.S. Still waiting for that dedicated copy of the book. Dear Princess Luna, I sure enjoyed our talk, but I'm afraid I'm too busy right now to actually answer your questions. Besides, telling you anything about what's going to happen would be against my personal policy. I'm sure you'll understand. Your Highness, that is that there is nothing better than buying the next book without it having any idea what's going to happen. Sincerely, Twilight Velvet. Dear Princess Celestia, I sure enjoyed our talk, But as I already said to your sister, I can't really answer any of your questions as it would be against my personal policy. And I'm awfully sorry, but we don't have spare beds that could suit you and Princess Luna. We wouldn't like to offend you by offering you something that's not worthy of the royal sisters. Sincerely, Twilight Velvet. Dear Rainbow Dash, thank you for your efforts. I'll be sure to read your story when I have the time. Signed, Twilight Velvet. Dear Daughter, please tell me there's some way to block my mail. Signed, Mom. Dear Mom, regular mail can be blocked if you go and ask the post station, although they will ask you why. If you say that you're being stalked via the mail, they will help you. However, magical mail like the one we're using right now can't be blocked. Why are you asking me this? You sound worried. With love, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Twilight Velvet, worry not about us. We don't mind sleeping in normal beds. With respect and admiration, Princess Celestia. Dear Princess Celestia, when I said we didn't have any bed worthy for you, I meant that we don't have any spare beds, or sofas. I'm afraid we had to throw them all away this afternoon as we discovered they had termites. It's a real shame. Sincerely, Twilight Velvet. Dear Twilight Velvet, we'll bring sleeping bags. Mine has a Daring Do face on it that glows in the dark. With respect and admiration, Princess Celestia. Dear Twilight, keep the princesses away from my house or so help me. I am surrounded by idiots. At this rate, I'm going to kill some pony. With love, Mom. Dear Dad, what's the deal with the princesses? And why is Mom so angry at me right now? With love, Twilight Sparkle. P.S. The cheese goes amazingly well with wine indeed. Thank you for the tip. Dear Twilight, the princesses want to spend the weekend in my house, and I need the weekend to write. I don't want to hear Celestia's theories about how Daring Do has been dead the whole time, or Luna's crazy nonsense about Sugar Song and Daring Do making out. Why, in the holy name of Starkswirl the Bearded, did you have to tell any pony that I was Silky Dusk? With love, Mom. P.S. And what's that thing about the wine and cheese? Dear Mom, I thought Sugar Song and Daring Do were going to get together by the end of this new book. The romantic subtext between them is very strong after all. Anyway, if the princesses are actually planning on going there for the weekend, I guess I can ask Shining Armor to help us again. The Royal Guard will work things out, I'm sure. Also, did you really read my letter to Dad? Mom, you need to respect my privacy. Signed, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Twilight, privacy my rear. I am your mother. I do what I want with your letters. And there's no romantic subtext in my books. Stop overanalyzing them. Daring Do has a nice hat and she fights monsters. There's nothing else to say about it. Hoping that you will stop dancing around the issue instead of actually helping me. Mom. Dear Mom, I'm afraid that Shining Armor can't help us. Apparently, the princesses have everything planned out. Even if there's an emergency, they can't reach them. So I'm afraid you'll have to cope with them for the whole weekend because I see no solution. Besides, they can't be as bad as you make them sound. I'm sure you're exaggerating a little. With love, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Twilight's Mom, it's been a couple of days and I haven't received a letter from you. I'm telling you this because I'm sure there's no way you haven't sent me your opinion on my fanfic. It's only 500 pages long after all. So maybe the letter has been lost or something. You should send it again as soon as possible. Waiting, but still your biggest fan, Rainbow Dash. Dear Twilight, if you don't come up with something to get the princesses away from my house, I swear that I will kick them out myself and then move to the Crystal Empire. You're the one who caused this. Take responsibilities. Use your fancy alicorn superpowers or something. With love, your mother. Dear Miss Twilight's Mother. Hey, your answer got lost again. What bad luck, huh? I decided that we should talk face to face about my fanfic. But don't worry, you don't need to come here to Ponyville. I already bought tickets to Canterlot. We'll be there tomorrow because I don't need to work on weekends. Cool, huh? Twilight will come with me, and I'm sure we'll bring a lot of papers and books so you can sign them all. I'll bring another copy of my fanfic, just in case. We can read it together. I make an awesome Daring Do voice. You need to hear my impression. See you tomorrow. Signed, Rainbow Dash. Dear Shining Armor, so apparently we're having a princess sleepover in the house tonight, for reasons that I don't really get. Do you want to come here and bring Cadence? It would be like a family reunion. Except with your mother yelling at the walls in frustration, Celestia talking about how Daring Do is either a ghost or a velociraptor cleverly disguised and we just don't see it, Luna singing us the song she has composed about her favorite Sugar Dew moment, and Rainbow Dash. This house is going to end up getting more feathers than a pet store. Bring popcorn. With love. Dad. Dear Dad, of course we can go. I told Cadence about the idea and she said that it would be lovely. I also commented that Silky Dust is the nom de plume of Mom, and she got really excited. She is a real fan, you know. She wants to show Mom all the poems she has written about her books. Isn't she adorable? I'm sure Mom will love them. See you in a couple hours. Signed, Shining Armor, Prince of the Crystal Empire. Dear Mr. Nightlight, we are saddened to announce to you that your wife, Miss Twilight Velvet, is in the royal dungeon as for now, and we kindly ask that you come here to pick her up as soon as possible. Miss Twilight Velvet was found sneaking up on the royal library without permission at night, while yelling gibberish about having to travel back in time so that she could prevent both getting married and having children. Apparently, that's by far the best way she has to spend her weekend. Her words, not mine. When she got caught, she knocked out 2 of our guards and hurt 3 more while being driven to the dungeons. It's been 3 hours since then, and she's still yelling at the walls. Please come as soon as possible. We're terrified. Sincerely, the Royal Guard. And that's the end of part 1.